Time now for the most motivational segment in all of sports. It's the Bud List. Also time where we read a little bit of viewer mail.
Good.
We are always happy to read
I thought you were going to mail it in, so I'm good. I'm happy.
No, of course not.
Got some mail.
Dear Wilds, love predictions week. Why? Thank you. We've seen a lot of the classic cast of characters, including the breakdancers and perhaps the trumpeters.
Bugle Boys.
Are we also going to see the classic props from Brew's file cabinet? Thanks, Don. Well, we haven't cleaned anything out, and the other day you were looking for, Brew, we are gonna go through, it is the classic tomato cans, which the Jets will probably be raining.
Yeah.
Brew.
Nick hates that.
This is your Brock Purdy thing.
Yeah,
It's your guys' Brock Purdy thing these days.
that.
Brew, you have to clean this out. It's our YouTube plaque that Brew's had in his thing the whole time.
Wow!
Gianna, I owe you an apology.
Wow!
I've been saying you stole this plaque.
Wow, let me see.
So thank you. Sorry, Gianna.
You found me out.
First things
Bro, you
first.
have
Who
we passed
ratted me
1
out,
million
Giannis?
There we
subscribers.
go. It's time for the
I was
Thank
about
you
to
for
take
your
that home and put it in my office.
continued
That's
support.
unbelievable. That should stay right there.
Well, we need 2 million, so
Okay,
let's
so-
get
It is
Mr.
nice,
Beast has
though.
a platinum one.
I can understand why people get excited about that.
Yeah.
That's a nice plaque. Looks gold and everything. All right, let's get to it. At number 3 on this week's Bud List, Tua. That's right. Now look, Tua, it's ironic
Sorry.
you just brought out the tomato can. I know I jump on you a lot for only beating up tomato cans and you can't win in tepid weather, forget cold weather. But the fact of the matter is this, and it's the truth. You're a winner. You do win games. Since you have entered the league, your 5 seasons, look at this, guys. He is the 6th winningest quarterback in his starts. He's 38 and 24 in his starts. Yeah, 61%. That's nothing to sneeze at. And the Dolphins are just 9 and 13, 43% when he doesn't play. All right, so you do win. So now, of course, you beat up tomato cans. That's true. I'm not making that up. But guess what? You got a lot of tomato cans on the schedule this year. Outside of the 2 games against Buffalo in the division, obviously, only 4 of your remaining 15 games are against teams that had a winning record last year. So the key, of course, is for you to stay healthy. You've only done it 1 year in your 5 seasons. That year, you did make the playoffs. So if you stay healthy, I think you can play well enough. You got a bunch of tomato cans on the schedule. Put on some long johns and go and beat somebody. All right, now Tua, I actually do believe in you. Here's the problem, though. It's not just you out there playing. All right, if people think I'm trying to be funny, that I'm making stuff up, that I'm just going a bit too far when I do the whole breakdancers bit. But the fact is, in a game that calls for you to deliver some blows, to knuckle up, this is what y'all doing. A bunch of breakdancers.
Oh, no.
This is not a skit. This is a Dolphins practice.
Okay, that is a month ago, to be fair.
I mean, they literally are breakdancing.
How are we just
now they're pretty good, which I never said they couldn't breakdance. They're good. But, come on. Is that going to win you some games? I mean, look at them. They nice, though. They nice.
I know this happened.
Maybe we can get them in here. All right, so yeah, I believe in you too, but not your breakdancing teammates. All right, at number 2, Joe Burrow. All right, now look, every credible quarterback list or ranking, Joe, has you in the top 4. I think we all believe rightly so. Here's the problem. The other 3 guys, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, they're all going to make the playoffs, all right, barring some type of injury. They are going to make the playoffs. We're not so sure about you guys. Y'all haven't been in the playoffs in Cincinnati since 2022, which sounds crazy, but it is the truth. And here's the deal. We get that you're with a bad organization, the worst of those 4 for sure, of the aforementioned 4. But they have given you, Joe, Everything you asked for. You wanted Jamar paid. You wanted T. Higgins paid. You got it. All right. What you didn't ask for, at least not publicly, was for them to improve the defense. So and they didn't. I mean, they drafted Shamar Stewart, but we'll see if that defense is improved. So what that means is you have got to go out there and play lights out once again. All the pressure's on you. You had the chance. You could have easily said, look, offense is fine. We've got to get better on the other side of the ball. But you didn't. You said, let's beef up the offense again. All right, so you have to go out there and do your thing. Also, those other 3 quarterbacks, they all have MVP awards. So, Joe, the pressure is on you to not just make the playoffs, but maybe even win an MVP. So I do believe in you. You're a great quarterback. Go out there and get it done. All right, at number 1, a little double threat here. Oh. Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons. Now, Jerry, I know I go off on you about the soap opera and all that. You are indeed a soap opera. Here's the problem. You have turned this upcoming season is not going to be a soap opera. It's going to be a horror show. The way you've turned this thing. I mean, I think the morale is probably way down in Dallas now with what you're doing with Micah. So I think you have to figure out one of 2, maybe one of 3 things. 1, pay the man, all right, before the season starts. 2, trade the man. The problem with that, I think, is you're admitting we're not close. And I think they think they're fairly close. We don't, but they do. And then does that bring Dak's morale down? See some of the other players that are ready to win now. But that's a second option. Or, and I hate the thought of this one, but you've said it. Tell Micah, look, we're not paying you. We're going to give you a $21 million this year. And then I'm franchising you at least 1 year. You could tell him that and challenge him and see what happens. But you have to make a decision on one of these 3 because it's getting ridiculous. Now, Micah, look, Nick, I hear you on the bad back, and he probably is setting it up for that. But I also think Micah, I just think he loves the game.
Yeah.
And I think he is chomping at the bit to get out there and play. I bet it is killing him, eating him up, that he's not out there with his guys, that he's not going to be rushing the quarterback on week 1, or at least that's the way it appears right now. So I think he's going to have a tough decision to make. I don't think every player could just say, you know what, my back's hurting me. I think he might be, maybe he's going to battle between, do I sit out or do I go ahead and play even though I haven't gotten the contract I want? So, Micah, you got a tough decision to make as well. Look, I am really starting to believe they're going to go ahead and pay you before the season starts, similar to Dak Prescott last year. But both of you guys need to go ahead and get it done. I can't believe I'm saying this. I believe in you. All right, that's it.
You know what? I believe in them too. And one of the reasons why I believe in them, because there's a third person that needs to be added to that party, and that's Dak Prescott. Yeah, I'm going to throw Dak Prescott up here because you got Joe Burrow up there who doesn't have a defense, who we still say, you know what, you can still contend to potentially win a Super Bowl. Well, Dak Prescott, what have you been doing? You put up a stat there also about highest winning percentage in quarterbacks. You know who was up there in front of Tua? Dak Prescott. He's been great within his division. The only team that he tends to struggle with is the Eagles. But can you still make this team a competitor? Can you compete? Brew just said it could potentially be a horror show if Micah Parsons in that defense, if he's not on that defense. Well, Trey Hendrickson potentially wasn't going to be with the Bengals. He is. And it was still a little bit of a horror show on that side of the ball. But you know who didn't make it a complete horror show? The quarterback. You have this same opportunity. You got George Pickens added to your roster. You have a relationship with Tolbert and Turpin. We know who CeeDee Lamb is. You got Williams in the backfield, Miles Sanders in the back. Let's see what you do, because you missed games last year with the hamstring injury. You were 3-5 when you left the season with the injury. But you weren't having a great season. 11 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. This is on you to make sure that we're still talking great about this Dallas Cowboy team, not just because Micah gets signed or something gets worked out, but because You are the leader. You're the quarterback. You're the reason why we talk about these games anyway every single week, because I'm good enough to mask and to overcome whatever we need in these moments. That's why they pay you the big bucks. I do believe in you.
Okay, that's not bad. Nice addition, Greg.
That was good.
Really well done.
Okay.
KW?
Coming up next, Caleb top 5. Cole. I thought it was a 410 exclusive thing because we didn't.
It's a Thursday Budless.
My bad. I apologize. I tried to go to. Time now. Whether you like it or not, it's time for the Sports Media Ombudsman.
Brew, I think you're going to like this one quite a bit because you spent a good deal of your career in locker rooms or clubhouses or covering at press conferences.
Yes.
And I learned, by the way, old KW cut his teeth as a reporter as well.
A local town.
Yes, still, but you were a local reporter, and so this is a message to all sports media out there. You have to remember, you are given press access for a reason, and Twitter is not real life. So we have had multiple instances recently where the tail has wagged the dog when it comes to press conferences. I will give you an example. The internet is saying the Browns are calling the bad plays when Shador's in there. The internet's telling me they've got the 5th string offensive line, a thing that doesn't actually exist in the game. The internet's telling me that the only guy who was in the end of a 3rd preseason game with teammates who aren't going to make the roster was Shador Sanders. Well, if it's what people are talking about, then I guess we should ask Kevin Stefanski about it. And then when Kevin Stefanski gives a quote about it, it then becomes credible news, and then we all talk about it. Happened again this week. John Kuhn, Micah Packers. Wow, what a story. Then an actual reporter, thankfully, texts John Kuhn. He's like, yeah, I'm just trolling, boys. This is making stuff up. Doesn't matter. But then a different actual reporter is like, so there was talk about Micah coming to the Packers to Brian Gutekunst, and now it's a real story. Brian Gutekunst talks about this.
Yes.
Guys, Brew alluded to it yesterday. We're on the precipice of falling to the robots as is. The one thing we need to keep a grip on is what actual reality is. And there's a reason press conferences, and I'm not an elitist in this regard, but there's a reason it's not just like, who wants to come in and ask coach a question? And so when you're one of the people that gets asked coach a question, you're deciding to ask him, well, my absolutely malfunctioning algorithm timeline to cause engagement is saying this is what people are talking about. That's what we're going to ask about, to misuse of the resource. That's all I would say. We need to do a better job on that.
Would be sick though if someone asked Jalen Hurts about my tweets though.
That would be great. They're like, hey, see this? Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.